given the perjured testimony as an audio because in their district, in their court, they record it. So it's an audio transcript.
Right.
I gave them an excerpt of an audio transcript from the court where he perjured himself, and they didn't give a shit. And the fact that he wasn't insured. Finally, the prosecutor, a guy named Stephen Anya, right before the trial in the district court, sometime in late October, he had got a copy of the InsureRight, which is the company here, it's the master clearinghouse for insurance, InsureRight database record, and it showed the guy wasn't insured. He was not insured at all.
Right.
So they absolutely knew that he wasn't insured, and still didn't do anything about it.
Well,
and they knew. It's not just that he wasn't insured that time. He wasn't insured 5 times before that.
Right. Exactly.
And had been convicted of lying to the police. On three of the convictions, 2 of the convictions were about lying about insurance.
And now,
just like mine.
When you said he was convicted, I guess that was just a monetary fine. There was no he's no.
Oh, a record.
Okay.
A court record.
Okay.
Not just a fine. It's a Class D misdemeanor.
Gotcha.
These are notarized records. Those are evidence.
Right.
Self-authenticating. That's what I'm saying. And it's like there's so many pieces here. As soon as I started talking to people trying to get help on it, they just blow off. There's just too many pieces. They don't have the time. They don't have the attention span. That's why I gotta, But so I'm in this. Let me say this. I'm in this hearing, this trial of the 2nd of December, and Officer Taylor's on the witness stand, and I'm cross-examining him. The first thing I do is, I'll tell you where this guy's not insured. He goes, whatever he had to say. I said, well, here's a copy. I'd like to tender in evidence the insured database, and there was no objection from the prosecutor. It was his record. Boom, it's in the evidence. It's evidence now. I don't have to argue it anymore. He's not insured. And then I tender in the evidence. Were you aware on the day that he was driving that so-and-so was convicted, had a record of conviction for lying to the police about insurance on this date? Oh, no, I wasn't. Would you take a look at this record? I'd like to enter this in the evidence. Boom, it's in the evidence. Conviction 1, for lying to the police. Conviction 2, lying to the police. Conviction 3, lying to the police. Along with the record of the insurance that he has lied to the police a 4th time. And we take a break, okay?
All right.
And during the break, I stay in the courtroom with the bailiff, and I'm on the phone with a buddy of mine who runs a JAG. He's a JAG officer from the state. He was a former federal prosecutor. He's a colonel in the JAG Corps. He runs it.
Okay.
And I'm talking to him about how crazy the case is. We're just talking, he's not giving me advice or anything. We're just talking about it. And the judge comes back in. They declare that the break is over. I say, I got to go to my buddy. I stayed in the courtroom the whole time in front of the bailiff. The prosecutor comes in. Officer Taylor comes in. And we bring in driver number 1. The uninsured driver with me. He takes the stand. Prosecutor does his thing. Doesn't really have much to ask him. Cross-examination. He's on the stand. My first question. Driver number 1, were you insured at the time of the accident? Oh, yes, I was insured. Perjury.
Oh, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I mean, you can't argue that.
Well, guess what? He didn't do a fucking thing about it.
Wow. So
I'm asking him. No. That's not the good part.
Wow.
That's not the good part.
Okay.
Okay. I'm interrupted by the prosecutor, Stephen Anya. I have a recording of all this crap I'm telling you. That's what's so bizarre about it. That's why they won't help me here. There's a reason why they won't help me here. Stephen Anya is appointed by the governor on the boards and commissions on the bail bonds board. He's one of their BYU buddies. They're not going to go after that guy. That's another story. I've been the rounds with the Attorney General's office. I've been threatened by their office. Law Enforcement Division.
So you have no there's no higher up you can take this to on a state level, because you are, I mean,
hard. I am persona non grata.
Yeah.
And I haven't even began to. There's another conversation I'll have off the record. I'll go off the record after this, but I'll tell you some of the stuff. But Chiviania says, Your Honor, over the break, Officer Taylor approached me and it's come to our attention that Mr. Johnson approached the witness, and I've been inside the courtroom all the time. Mr. Johnson approached the witness and told him that there was a felony warrant out for his arrest. And Mr. Johnson told him that, Your Honor, because he tried to intimidate the witness not to appear here today. That is, he had threatened, it was a form of threatening the witness, and he intimidated the witness. That's a felony. All of a sudden, I find myself being accused of a felony based on the words of a police officer who covered for someone who was illegal and wouldn't charge him for all the things that he did. And now they're trying to accuse me, they're actually accusing me on the record of a felony. Okay? And I'm blown away. I'm like, well, this is just crazy. And the only thing the judge ever did to me in the whole case, and because driver number 2, Oscar Batista, he's on the witness stand. And the judge starts to talk to him. And it all just falls apart for him, for them, with regard to their felony accusation. And it's like, felony? Where'd you hear that? And it all comes down to, well, before we had the break, I heard Mr. Johnson tell me that there was a felony warrant out for my arrest, which never occurred. He choked because he was being used to falsify, again, another charge, a felony charge against me by the same officer who had been lied to and suborned to perjury in the first case and was being protected by the mayor looking for re-election.
Wow.
Maybe that's where I should begin this case when I talk about it and go back in time. That's what happened to me as a veteran who paid my own goddamn way into Afghanistan 9 fucking times.
The system.
Went there as a disabled veteran, being prosecuted using 2 fucking illegal aliens who had a decade-long fucking history of driving illegally and committing document fraud for over a decade. And they didn't give a goddamn about it. And then the judge convicts me using their testimony. That's what happened.
So
and the reason that it's important,
right,
is because we had 2 former attorney generals who were indicted and prosecuted. They were both in the very same court with the very same judge. Attorney General number 1, Mark Shurtleff, his case was dismissed. Number 2, Swallow, he was acquitted in February of 2017. Okay? You know why he was acquitted? Because during the trial, in the same fucking judge's courtroom, his defense attorney accused the FBI of lying on the stand. An accusation that they couldn't prove, that they had no proof of, that was never proven. Only an accusation, unlike an illegal alien coming in and saying he was insured after the judge admitted into fucking evidence a record of being uninsured.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then they asked for a mistrial in the Swallow case. The judge, instead of having a mistrial as a remedy, dismisses 6 of the felony counts of public corruption on 18 felony counts, reduces them to 12. Then instructs the jury that they will disregard all the statements as evidence from the entire body of the FBI and disregard all the evidence collected by the Department of Justice. So there was no more goddamn evidence against the Attorney General, who was then acquitted.
Wow. Because
they accused the FBI of lying. Whereas I'm in a court as a veteran, and 2 illegal aliens lied their ass off, and the judge wouldn't hear the motions that contained the lies and perjuries from a previous court, showing that they had sworn in under different names and all the other shit, and I'm convicted. After Swallow is then acquitted, the current Attorney General Reyes writes all this glowing, gushing bullshit about the justice system, how it reaffirms his belief in the justice system, and what a great judge Judge Ruby Mills really is. He writes all this bullshit. While I'm going through a process of civil review to have him review the bullshit that I went through in the same court. When he was acquitted, his civil review team contacted the Office of Public Corruption, law enforcement, who called me up on the phone and told me I would be prosecuted if I contacted anyone in the AG or went anywhere near them, emailed them, faxed them, contacted them, called them.
Wow. So
are you getting all that?
Yeah, I got you.
Then I had to go to the FBI. And while I was going to the FBI, somebody must have spoofed me. Because one of the times I went to the FBI, I'm someone who lived with the director of, the FBI director of fucking Pakistan when I was overseas.
Right.
Okay? I was escorted out of the FBI building with 3 armed fucking agents and lived to tell about it.
So you found that
the next time I went back, I was told never to fucking come back.
You found no help there. There was no friend there.
They reached around. There was a reach around.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha.
They reached around and they did not, and then not as a conspiracy, but then I went and hired another attorney just so I could try to work on the liability benefit from what happened, because we knew we could go win the liability benefit, because I still hadn't been worked since this happened.
So civilly, I mean, I guess if he has nothing, he has no identification. There's nothing you can take from this guy civilly. It's
not about that. It's about my insurance company sided with that guy because they knew they would have to pay me.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Right. And they had paid me before in a case involving a member of this governor's staff.
Yeah, that was something else I was going to ask. I mean, this isn't an isolated incident either.
Correct. It is not an isolated incident. I was broadsided when I came back from Afghanistan. All I was complaining to the Attorney General's office about being run out of business, documented with documents from people. Twice.
Right.
I was complaining directly to the governor's office about the previous governor, John Huston Jr. When a member of his family working for the governor broadsided me 5 blocks away from the Capitol, knocked me unconscious, and I woke up to seeing an officer who was never dispatched to the scene of the accident. So I did one of those grandma requests you talked about, the FOIA request, whatever, grandma.
Mm-hmm.
An officer who had shown up without being dispatched at the scene of the crime to assist a member of the Huntsman family who worked for the governor's legal staff, instructing the witness to leave under duress of arrest. You know, the weird thing is, the craziest thing of all, is that city attorney in Salt Lake City, where I live, is Lynn Cresswell. City attorney for South Salt Lake City, now, Lynn Cresswell. Same city attorney, both crazy accidents. I don't know what it means. I'm not saying he's responsible for it.
You just see a common denominator.
If anywhere else, if you live anywhere else in this country, and you had just come home from Afghanistan and Iraq, and a member of the governor's staff clocks you and ran a fucking stop sign and fucking T-boned you so hard in your Volvo XC70, all the body armor you have and everything, and knocks you the fuck out in a residential neighborhood, everybody in the state would know about it.
Right.
They buried that fucking thing so deep and so fast and fucked me over so hard. They wanted this to fucking stick.
And there was also some other weird facts about this as well. I mean,
oh yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was threatened by the Attorney General's office, Morris Haverty. I got the letter still. that if I talked about an action, is exactly what it said.